In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sonships of millions of years, and he who made time the seed of the universe. Creator, thank you for allowing us to gather on today's Zoom, to be in each other's presence and absorb the message. We thank you for your continuing grace, your mercy, and your cover over us, our bloodlines, our movements, and our friends, associates, and followers during this time. We ask that you continue to cover us in your umbrella protection, continue to keep us free from hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. We ask that you continue to cover us, our loved ones, and all those who we care about. We ask all this in the essence of your Son, Yeshua, the Black Messiah. We say peace, thank you, amen, and ashe.
Peace, peace, amen.
Amen.
And welcome to the TOMA Nations Wednesday study class. Most times we study as a part 2 of whatever message was given to us on that Sunday. This would usually be a follow-up. This month is called, for the TOMA Nation, Health Awareness Month. But I hear that I believe it's in the state of Illinois, I don't know if it's all over the United States, it's known as Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness. And that's okay because it all fits right in, because we know that 87% of all our illnesses starts in the mind first. It's in your head, 87%. And the rest is either genetics, diet, or something of that matter. Good book I showed you the last time, which Omari can show you later. Oh, here we go. Is this book. I hope you saw it. The Little Herb Encyclopedia, the Herbal Encyclopedia. And that means every herb that you want to know something about. It's in alphabetical order. In the back, the index, different ailments that you may have, or some people that you may know might have. You can go in there and it'll give you the page numbers of which herb. And a lot of people call them herbs. But when I started out, the people were calling it herbs, and the H was silent. And that's why you'll hear me say it that way, because I'm used to saying herbs, not herbs. All right. So that's one of the books. And this other book is called African Holistic Health. Now, this book was written by a Black man, and his name was Lyle Africa. Another good book, all right, to have. Now, he don't just go into just herbs. He go into your whole diet, everything, and he breaks down disease and the origin of disease in every level, holistic. And he tells you about the organs of the body, all of that. So all of that is the African holistic health. And last but not least is nutritional healing, kind of going backwards now. And that's this book. And that book is the encyclopedia for nutritional healing. In the contents of this book, the preface gives you the history of herbs and vitamins and minerals. And then it goes through all the different herbs, vitamins, and minerals that our body needs, 102 minerals. And I don't recall right now all the vitamins. Right now, because of all our food being poisoned, we're not getting all our vitamins that we are supposed to have. So we're being vitamin and mineral deficient. Vitamin and mineral deficient. Just letting you know I'm saying it twice so you can understand what I'm saying. And in being vitamin and mineral deficient and not having all of the vitamins and minerals that you need, and it not being in our food, especially our junk food, and about 85% of our pop-up food that we get and stick it in the microwave. So that means our body's defense system is being compromised. And by being compromised, it opens us up to all the diseases that are in the atmosphere, on your skin, that you're breathing in, and that's coming in on some of your food. And a lot of, well, most of our food that we're eating, we don't know if it's genetically modified organisms or is it actual organic good food that comes from a farm. Even if you go to Whole Foods, even if you go to Trader Joe's, even if you go to any of these so-called grocery stores that serve organic or sell organic foods, you still can never be sure because the FDA does not have to tell you which food is what, which vegetable, which fruit is what. So the alternative to that, brothers and sisters, is only growing your own food, carving you out of space. This is nothing new. When I was coming up, I had an uncle. He's still around. He's 90-something years old now. Him and his wife, they had a garden in the backyard. And they had grapes, they had cherries, they had all sorts of vegetables. And it was just in a little corner space in the yard. And this years ago. So what we're saying is nothing new. It's just that now it has to come out of the suburbs and into the city. And we must begin to have our own. See, and the seeds cannot be Monsanto seeds. They have to be seeds that a agriculturalist can share with you and tell you, and you got to hurry up and gather them up now because pretty soon you won't be able to get them. They'll be able to tell you the particular brand, and we have some of those brands here right now in TOMA, of seeds that you can use so that you can reproduce. Take those seeds and get more watermelons, get more tomatoes, get more okra, get more bell peppers and onions and potatoes and all of that. That's what we got to go back to Mother Earth. Keep your immune system built up. Now, until you're able to do that, I'm saying all of you brothers and sisters who don't want to take what they consider the antidote for this plague that is upon us, then you will have to supplement your diet with supplements, multiple vitamins that will give you all of your missing nutrients that you're not getting in your dead food. And outside of that, you would have to get some sort of remedy, natural remedy that will destroy diseases that are coming in or that are building up from on the inside, while your immune system makes sure that it doesn't come back. So they're working hand in hand. And we in TOMA always have said since 1990 that all of our food is poison. We said all of it. We said fruits and vegetables. So we've been saying this is a call to action. Why a call to action? Well, because we don't believe that this is me, and maybe TOMA. We don't believe that our people is taking this serious. We believe that our people is just lightly hearing it and going on about their business. And the only selfish side of it is they only wake up when something happened to them or their family. We've lost our sense of a village. We've lost our sense of each one teach one. We've lost our sense of it takes a village to raise a child. We've lost our sense of I am my brother, my sister's keeper. And if it dies out, then this unity that we seek among us as a people, this coming together that we see will be null and void. It cannot happen because all of the mechanisms to bring us together as a people, we refusing to do when we see one another. What happened to peace when you see them? What happened to, what's up, brother? What's happened to sisters? My sister, my brother. What happened to open up the door for people? I know we open it up for women too, but how about people? How about if you're going in or coming out of the door and you see somebody behind you, hold it for them? That's not belittling yourself. That's a practice. And we're talking about this practice among Black people in our own community. So we have a call to action. Our people who are truly interested, I got two of them going out. One is for people who have not been vaccinated, I'm gonna use that term one time, and want to know what can they do and why should they take it or not, so that they can be helped in making up their mind. But this won't be put out across social media. This one will be a Zoom link, but it'll be given to everybody that's in my phone who I know personally have not taken it, and to asking you to tell your people who haven't taken it to come on, friends, whoever, who haven't taken it. Now, if anybody has taken it and they come on, you'll only be bringing them into something that you probably would have wished you had, because this is gloves off, telling it like it is, biblically, scientifically, and all the way across the board. We already know the route that this world is going, and the new world system that they're trying to set up. And I told our members years ago, we're not against the technology of this world. It's the mindset of the people that's behind the technology. We're not against a new world order. We're just picking the one that we want to be a part of. And we in TOMA chose God's new world order, not satanic world order. And the Satan of this world has a new world order that they're bringing in place, and a new adjusted system of how they're going to operate. And brothers and sisters, whether you want to take it or believe it or not, we're not in that. They don't have us written in the new world order. They don't have us written in to the future. They have wrote us out. They're constantly figuring out how long we gonna take this before we say enough is enough. That no matter how high we go up the ladder, there's still some things on this planet they're not gonna allow you to have. They're not gonna allow you to compete with them on that same level. I don't care what field it's in. I don't care if it's in the entertainment field. I don't care if it's in the social service field. I don't care. I mean, we got a situation where a woman been in social services all these years, her mother and her, over 20 to 30 years, doing, helping Black youth, foster kids, children being raised without their parents, helping them find places and things. Then here comes a 100-year-old white group want to come in and push them out. Well, in that same sense, on a whole global level, that's how they think. We looking at it on a small level when the people who are in charge of this planet on a global level is trying to push us out. It's working hard to push us off the planet and bury us in mass graves. And a lot of us, in all of our endeavors, are so selfish in our fight for our, as y'all do this, liberation, that they've gotten to a point where all they want is a piece of the pie. And then they'll settle for it Like a dog when he jumping up and down, wagging his tail, and you got a piece of meat in your hand. You ain't got the whole steak. You just got a piece, and he wagging his tail, tongue sticking out and everything. As soon as you drop it, his mouth open, bam, claps it, and he walk away. Most of our so-called activists, that's all they want. Well, in our movement, we call it shut up feet. That make you close your mouth and don't say nothing else. Hey, look, we gave you what you asked for. And they can do that because they got billions of dollars and they're spending their billions of dollars and toward our demise, toward our extermination as a people. And the little bit of money you got, well, they don't care if you take that money and live another 20, 25 years and be gone. Squander all your money. You just one person in 30, 40 million in the United States and over 100 million or so or more in the world. Look at those faces of those people who are paying for our demise. I said they're spending their billions. You know what a billion, you know what they're spending, excuse me. Well, yeah. $1 billion is 1,000 million. Did you hear me? And if I'm wrong, y'all put it in the chat and I'll correct it. $1 billion is 1,000 million bucks. And you gonna tell me they can't take $1 million of that like they do, split it up and dish it out in pieces like slicing a cake for the Inglewood community, the Auburn Gresham community, and all 6 of them together put up $1 million for each state, maybe 2 for each state, and give them grant money so they can run with it and go back to sleep and leave them alone while they continue to pay to make a series of viral things, diseases, plagues, pestilence, famine, war. Yes, war too. A lot of stuff is going on over in Israel. A lot of people say, well, Brother Minister, you Black conscious, why you keep talking about the stuff happening over in Israel? I have to. Because one of our other slogans that we say is, come into a theater near you. See, if we don't look at that and say nothing about it, they're going to stop really worrying about what you say when an officer killed one of us. If we don't look at that and compare that with what's going on in the Black community, and the only difference is in reverse, okay? The Palestinians don't have any guns. They throw rocks. They throw stones. They throw bottles, okay? And so what do we say over here? One of our points of what we believe in know is them disarming the Black community. If that's the sister to America, then we need to watch how they deal with them because it's coming to a theater near us. You thinking because they done flooded the community with guns? No, that's part of an experiment just to see how many of us will die. But they're also looking at how many of us are multiplying. And if 7 people get shot here in Chicago, and then 300 people being born that are Black, or maybe even 100, to that 7, they ain't looking at the deaths, they looking at the births. See, they ain't looking at the gunshot wounds, they looking at the abortion clinics. I'm trying to show you where they throw the rock and we look over there and they looking over here because we're not thinking. We're looking at the Black on Black crime and police violence. They looking at the new pharmaceutical stuff and the pharmaceutical drugs that they can give us to continue to slowly make our health deteriorate till we gone. They make something and put HIV in, and then an article comes out later that HIV is rising, cases of HIV. Okay, well, we told you where they hid it. And who was that targeted for? Us. Us. They went to Africa first. With this one, they're going to Africa second. But it don't matter, first or second, understand the pattern. You got Del Monte. You got Sarah Lee. You got Betty Crocker. Arm and Hammer. Just keep naming them. They're all corporations owned by the same people. Well, the same ethnicity of the people that rules and runs your media, your TV, your radio, your social media. Same group, y'all. We call them the image makers. We call the people the Decepticons. That's another word we call them, because we got it from some movie, you know. But it fits them real good. We call them Borgs, something else from a movie that they put out called Star Trek. It was a group of alien beings that come and assimilate you into themselves and take over your name, your culture, your religion, your way of life. I'm talking about a group who are so happy that they got Biden back in office so they can blatantly do what they want to do to a people on the world stage and nobody say nothing about it. All the protesting don't mean nothing. And the more you protest on the side of the people that they slaughtering, the more they find out who you are and point you out and you lose your job. Something happens to your career. Something, oh yeah. Same way they did Minister Farrakhan, now they finna do all of you regular people too if you speak out. Oh, they muffling your mouth. See, so we look at it for a different reason, even though we don't want to see all these people dying and being killed, but we understand that when we say coming to a theater near you, we're gonna look up one day and the thing we fighting for to get all the guns off the street gonna be gone one day. And y'all gonna wonder what happened. And y'all gonna want to be ready, but you're not gonna be, except for those people we said, put the guns up. We didn't say turn the guns in. Toma ain't crazy. We never said turn the guns in. We don't say turn them in. We say put the guns up. Go to the range and keep learning. Get your card. Put the guns up. There's a time for it. The Bible said it. Don't say the minister said it. No. The Bible says a time for peace. There's a time for war. There's a time to live. There's a time to die. And it continues on and on and on and on. I'm quoting scripture. Don't blame me. Blame the scripture. It says a time and place for everything under the sun. So we don't ask our brothers and sisters, turn your guns in. We never will. No, we don't like the killing on the street. No, we don't like us killing us. We don't like it. And until we stop this thing called going for our own self, instead of doing for self and making it flow as a people, then we're not going to solve that problem. I said we as a people, blacks, are not going to solve that problem until we stop being so selfish and really understand that you are your brother's keeper. And until we accept that, we can't stop it. I don't care how many teams you get together. Even though OMIB can't stop it, all we can do is deflect. Say wherever we at least at this time, as long as we stand here, everything is peace. But as soon as we walk away, there they go again. And that's only because they respect us. That's only because we out there dealing with hospitality, not law enforcement. That's it. And thank God for that little bit. That little bit, but it's not gonna stop it. It's not going to even reduce it until we come together and change our concept of how we deal with and treat each other. I know I got a lot to read, and I have not even began to read. But there's a date that we're bringing people together, asking you to come together. I emailed it to a lot of people. I'm not finished emailing it. It's going to be on the 27th of May. Everybody in the city, you can come in from out of town if you want to. We got 4 different areas we're going to talk about, but we're not going to sit there and come to you and talk about 90% of the problem. We're going to come and talk to you about 10% of the problem and 90% of the solution. Did you hear me? 10% of the problem and 90% solution. And the 4 areas are cultural, health, economics, and safety. Why is it called the art of unity and state of emergency for the Black community? In the word community is unity. And when you commune together, you come and gather together for what? You coming and gathering together in a sense of unity, to unite, to come together and discuss these solutions. It don't say problems. What do we mean by cultural solution? And I'm gonna tell you, that one by itself, even though the others are too, but that one by itself, you're not gonna solve that one at one meeting. Until Black people can recognize that we are that nameless, lost 13 tribe born in North America. First, remove the name, and then come together and work on, culturally speaking, teaching our brothers and sisters that our ancient history, because we came with the earth, it consists of a variety of cultures. And they were Black people. The Hebrews were Black. The Moors were Black. I'm talking about what we were first. See, even in Islam, Muslims were Black. It wasn't white Arabs. The Muslims were Black. All of the different cultures are ours. You hear us say this. The blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. Why do we say that? Well, because we were created almost using the same system of pressure on a diamond, all right? And over time, a brand new people being created right here in America, the lost 13 tribe with the blood of all the nations flowing through their veins, even have certain elements in our blood of what you would call alien existence. And I'm not talking about Mexicans. I'm talking about some DNA from out of this world, and or some DNA from those who live in the center of this earth in a place called Agatha and Shambhala, or Shambhala. I know y'all ain't on that yet, but I'm just gonna throw the name out until you research it. But yet we're all over here in America, a lost 13 tribe that we have to accept that that's what it is. Then get all our brothers and sisters who will, not all of them on the planet, not all of them in the United States, all who will, to come and sit down at the table with all of their cultural differences, whether it's Pan-African, African, or whatever it is, and let's form a miniature version of the United Nations, right here in our own community, right here in our own state. And write up all the protocol, all the bylaws, everything by using things and stuff that was already laid out form our own. Even you, Moors, okay, move that to the side. All that y'all people who y'all wasn't even around to see them do it, made this treaty and that treaty with this person and all that. Let's use what we got and create one standard document that we will go by, structured, almost just like if you didn't see The Godfather, you need to, when all of them were fighting one another, and Corleone said, look, let's form a commission. Let's come together. So in the spirit of unity, we got to come together, and every one of those areas are being, what I call it? Well, I'm gonna say it a little different. In all four of those areas of economics, health, cultural, and there was one more, but in all of those areas, we're having a hell of a time, a hell of a bad time, because there's always something stopping our flow as a people. And it's always an outside influence stopping that flow. Yes, a lot of it, and the answer to it is internal. See, but we need our own line of defense to block the external so we can deal with the internal and then deal with the external. Oh, it's all the way around. It's physically, it's psychologically, it's spiritually, all of that. So that was the other one too. The last one was public safety. How can we begin to secure our true Black men and women who are sacrificing their lives for the future of our race and the future of our children? Sacrificing their lives, for real, for the future of our people. How can we secure those people? Then how can we secure our neighborhood? Then how can we secure our city? Yes, the only way that we can truly operate, this is why you see so many different groups like the Hebrews, the Moors in the nation, because we have to have a structured way of living. And if there's no structure, and America itself has gone haywire, where everything the Bible says thou shalt not do, they say it's okay to do it. We can't follow America's way. America's way is leading her into the pits of hell. And we can go with her. Or we can come back to our true father, our true mother. Yeah, all we got is earth. That's our mother. Our true father is whoever you want to call that entity, that higher power. But we're talking about the one who causes things to take place for us to get here, and who causes things to take place to take us out. That entity is Father. I know you want to call it Father, but you ain't got no two mamas. This is Mother Earth and Father God. And they work together. And don't get mad because Father God practices polygamy too. We got 9 planets. And he already married to all 9 of them. And then come to find out he's a Rolling Stone. He got some other universes he's been going into, creating planets and stuff using other wombs. Oh, y'all don't like that. But all of those are from a feminine essence. So accept your own brothers and sisters and be yourself. We must study. See, understand something else about what's going on over there in Israel. That didn't just happen. That's been going on. They just closed the media down on it because Trump wasn't going to stand for it. He was going to bust them out and expose all of that stuff. So they had to go and make a deal. Once they made the deal, then Trump didn't say nothing. Soon as the people who they've been ruling and controlling all these years, from the Clinton family to Obama, all the way back to Reagan and Carter, and on and on and on to I think we say Bush, Gerald Ford, all the way back. They've been ruling and running those presidents. They the little tail that wags the big dog called America. Look at a movie, it's called Wag the Dog. And they've been doing it for a while. It's a race of them who rules over the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And the group that rebels against them is a group of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant in the South. They rule against them. They will kill them and us because they want America great again. They want America pure again. And Trump spoke for them, that group. Yes, they kill blacks, Jews, and anybody else that ain't them. And they've been doing it for a while. It has not began, y'all. It's been going on and on and on and on for a while. See, and it's that group, brothers and sisters, who won't let your well-to-do brothers and sisters get ahead in this world to gain control of this world by being able to compete with them on an equal basis. When they get to that level of wealth and they're able to compete, they won't let them. So what are you going to do? Just accept it and live like that forever? What are you going to do? Just, okay, we got our money. Yes, all of those television stations and those other major corporations, they take that money and fund Israel. Look at that, Metro Golden Mayer. That man been producing movies for years, and he's actually a Jewish person. See, they'll take you off of here. Spielberg and them, they'll take you off of there because of you saying just that one word. Look at them, all of these people. These people put their money in that little country, all right? And they come here and they change their names. Most of them, 87 or 90% of them, the name you're hearing them being called by is not their name. They come over here and change their name. See, hiding themselves among us. They started credit. They started the pawn system, pawning your stuff, pawn shops and things like that. They started that. And they have not, look, when Trump was the president, they were scrambling to see who can they get to get back in. There was really no viable candidate to bring back in. So they got a man almost 80 years old so that they can notice he can read the teleprompter. That's all they need. And to get the rest of the black votes, they put a black face up there. Not a male, a female. Why? Because subliminally to further divide the black man and black woman from each other. Because they already divided among themselves, the white woman and the white man, they've been divided. Don't be fooled on what's on the surface. True, T-R-U-E, grassroots people let you look at the grass while we dig up the roots. And the roots is ugly. There's not no pretty looking something that you want to hang in your rose garden. And we say in order to find the truth, you have to dig. In order to find the truth, you have to go to the root, the hidden part. You have to dig for it. And it's going to be causing controversy. And you're going to call it a conspiracy theory. All of that kind of stuff that they can paint it so you won't believe it. But it's going on in America. It's going on in the world. And the people ruling and running this doggone planet, again, brothers and sisters, do not have black people in their best interest. The simplest thing I could tell you is this. Economically, we on the bottom. Health-wise, we number one in every health issue on the planet. Number one. And all over the world. In Australia, same thing. Alcoholism, we number one. Drugs, number one. So if all of that is true, and economically we on the rock bottom, and a natural law in place says that which is on the bottom rises to the top. If that's a natural law, and now it's our time because it's their demise and it's our rise, you think that these same people that grow and build all these magnificent buildings and stuff and highways and all in the laboratory cloning different animals and people and test tube babies and all of that, you think those smart people on this planet that's running this planet don't see that? They don't see that what's on the bottom has to rise to the top. You don't think they're planning day and night of how many ways they can keep that from happening? Because they're not going to give this planet back up. Not to its rightful owners, not to Black people, and sorry, Africans, not to you, but it's supposed to be given to the lost 13 tribes here in North America. And knowing our hearts and us having the blood of all the nations of the world, we're going to reach out to our brothers and our cousins. See, and yes, we'll rule it together. I may not be around, but I'm giving you the future. And it's going to happen. How do you know that, brother? Well, I have a belief in a book or some scriptures in the Bible and Quran that talks about the hereafter. It didn't say somewhere else after. It said hereafter. Hereafter what? Hereafter the destruction of all that's going on top of this planet, not the planet. So, and it mentions a group of people being in the hereafter. So evidently, if it's going to be somewhere after or somewhere else after, it don't say that. It says here on earth after the destruction. And so this is why we don't have a fit when it says armies gathered together for the doom. We watch and pray and be found worthy to escape. When the virus came and the antidote for it got dished out, we said watch and pray so we can be found worthy to escape. We don't pray for God to take it away. We don't pray, we'll pray for God to take it off of us if we happen to get it. But as a whole, we don't tell God to take it away because it's all a part of prophecy. And anything that's a part of prophecy must come to pass. And if it doesn't come to pass, then the God that we serve is a liar. It must come to pass. And some things are in place for those who choose the path of righteousness to be able to survive all of the death and destruction that's coming on this planet. That's on the planet and coming to the planet. They're opening up information on UFOs, unidentified flying objects. We don't believe in that title. They are identified flying objects. We, the chosen people, the Black people, the 13 tribes, know who they are, just like this government. And we know that most of them have a vested interest in our survival. We know this. I said, we know this. We know that they are constantly coming past this planet to see how everything is going and watching their prize over here in North America to make sure that that enemy don't start killing us wholesale. Waiting on us to wake up, waiting on us to eat the right God food for gods think right, so they would trigger our gifts that God gave us to be able to become the supreme beings that we were created to evolve into. A lot of us are not going to make it. More than one reason. One of the reasons is because we won't teach our children what I'm teaching. We won't teach our children the gods that they are and their potential to come into the supreme essence of it. Not enough of us are teaching that. We're letting the school system teach us how to continue to obey and be slaves and work hard, get a great education, get a good job. They're teaching us. See, so on every level of that call to action, there are people who can be called to the table that will be willing to learn this information and start a school of our own, teaching our brothers and sisters the things we need to know for the future. There is one brother that's teaching our children stuff and turning out geniuses. Marcus Klein is his name. That's one. Nation of Islam got some stuff they teach that's of a genius-like nature. There are books that we can put together that will become a curriculum. Just need people to study it so they can be instructors. We have to do this ourselves. We can no longer continue to wake up on a nice, warm, or cold day and just try to make the best of 24 hours while somebody's designing stuff to get rid of us, to kill us, to take us out. They've separated us already. They didn't relax on just having a dysfunctional family. They wanted dysfunctional male and female relationships among Black people. So they worked hard to do it. They use homosexuality as a weapon to feminize the men. And they even went as far as to put stuff in our food or in our water or in the marijuana, our recreational stuff that would deal inside of the bodies of the men and reduce the testosterone, that they might begin to develop more feminine ways. That's how diabolical they have become. And while you're asleep, the Bible says, while men slept, the enemy came into our neighborhoods, into our community, into our heads through social media and television and news, and sowed tares among the wheat. Then it said he went his way. He sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. You all just saw a picture of something. And I'm gonna keep it just like that. Because, and I'm saying it for a reason. I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm not trying to be whatever, bad mouthing. But if you can't tell what something is when you first see it, something wrong. And that's why I said showing something. I don't know what it is. See, and the Bible tried to stop this from happening. It even says in the Bible, a man should not wear things pertaining to women, and women should not wear things pertaining to men. And it was talking about your outward appearance at that time. When it came out, trying to stop what you just saw from happening. Said that women should cover their heads in church. Men, it was just showing you about men grooming themselves, women beautifying themselves. 2 words. Women shouldn't be grooming themselves. They should be beautifying themselves. Men shouldn't be beautifying themselves. They should be grooming themselves. Look at what I'm saying. Look at what I'm saying. God made 2 genders. Any other gender, men made. I say it again. God made two genders. Any other genders, men made. I don't see nowhere else in the Bible where he made any other a third gender. I don't see it. Even a eunuch is a man-made person. That's when they cut off the male's genitals. They call them eunuchs in the Bible, even that far back. Did you know before they let George Washington Carver hang around white people and go to their schools and sit at their table and eat with them, that the family who owned him as a slave cut off his genitals because they didn't want him to mate with their children, their daughters? That's why he had a high-pitched voice. He was a eunuch. George Washington Carver. Y'all don't like to hear that kind of stuff. But that's how diabolical this man was and how he saw you and how his children and children's children are taught about you and I. But you don't want to see it. And this is what makes us angry who are nationalists, who are grassroots activists. This is why we get angry when we see our people imitating them. Yes, imitating them. All these massacres and things that we're imitating. All these drive-by shootings that we're imitating them. According to Umar Johnson, they were identified as white people in 1940. Before 1940, they wasn't identified as white people. They were identified as who they were, Italians and Greeks and Romans and all this and that, and Jews and just all of that. And they were doing all kind of drive-bys and multiple shootings and stuff like that. And now we picking up their ways. There was a time, brothers and sisters, where when a mass shooting took place, we knew not to bet on it because we would have lost if we'd have said anything but white. We knew that was white people nature. There was a time, brothers and sisters, when there was any kind of multiple killings where somebody was a serial killer. There was a time when even white folks knew when they came on the news that it was a white male. There were times. But now the black man and woman who black on the outside marvels in that type of bull crap and began to imitate that. All of them people, I see some I can name, some I don't remember, but I see Jeffrey Dahmer. I see Ted Bundy. I forgot his name, he was a clown too. Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. But now you can sprinkle that with black faces. Because our culture only relegated us to certain things that we did and certain things that we did not do. Never would do. And this is what made grassroots activists angry. When we see our black brothers and sisters acting like white people. Even homosexuality was nothing ever that we put on the front burner of our existence. Never did that. White people were always doing it. Always. When they built their gated communities and stuff, and they meet their neighbors and their husbands and wives, and they had these parties at night, and every person with each other.
Your audio gone.
See, again, I got mute. I never touched it. I don't know how that be happening. I really don't, but
You said homosexual.
I'm gonna say it again, then, homosexual. See if they're gonna mute it again. Gay. all that trans stuff, even in the word, meaning you moving from a state that you was to another state, an action that you take, like when you transfer something, or the Chicago Transit Authority, meaning moving you from one place or space to another. So if anybody is trans anything, that means you came from a starting point and wound up another destination. That's what that means, y'all. So that means you had either one of the other genders, male, female, and you transition from those to another one. Now, if God only made those two, now let's go back into something so you can understand I'm not crazy. With all this stuff they got in the air and all this stuff that you put in your body and over-the-counter drugs and all this dead, bad food and whatnot, and all these mothers who are not eating the right proper food and the right diet when they're pregnant, and then men whose sperm count is all messed up and warped. Some of the things can't even swim, they ain't got a tail. Some of them, I mean, it's just messed up. So you coming out with these misfits and these terrible looking children and whatever because you don't want to get right with God. And so, yes, they're being created. I won't go into what they did with them in the Bible. I'll leave that alone. I don't know what my time is. I think it's 8 o'clock. So I just need you all to know why we do what we do and why we use what's going on the world scene. Anything you see going on the world scene, we look at it as a test. If they bomb something, we have to be involved in it, looking at it. We got to look at it. We got to study why did they bomb it and how are the people responding to it? Who are they saying are responsible for it? Why? Because we need to hear those names. We need to know those names. We need to know what group it is. Because one day they might want to do that to us. Coming to a theater near you. And the more we go to sleep on that stuff, the more we don't care about that stuff, the more it gives them a chance to operate in obscurity. Understand what I just said. It gives them a chance to operate in obscurity. What you see there in our communities is a organization, or yeah, that's what it is, that are responsible for the drugs, the alcohol, and the killings in our communities. And all you grassroots people who really want to fight, that's who you need to be fighting. And the fraternal order of police. And because the unions are splintered, you can also check out the police unions. But the main group is the fraternal order, because that's a fraternity that they all are part of. And the heads of those fraternities, they got presidents in every particular state or even city. And this is why a lot of the police officers who they don't send to jail and who they don't fire, they just send them to another station or police state, and those people continue to live their lives. They take their families and all and let them live the rest of their lives till they die. I'm telling you this. I'm gonna tell you something else on you. I know that Blagojevich and all the other people, high people, do not suffer in an actual prison that most of our Black people in America is languishing in. No, they have a space for those people too, with nice cut grass and everything, and no walls, where they can have visits and everything, where they can mind their own business. Yes. In Chicago alone, you can't tell me what happened to Street after he got busted. He worked so good for the white man, but he got caught because I guess at one point he decided he wasn't going to do something they asked him. And so they said he had prostate cancer, and you didn't hear from him no more. Alderman Tyrone Kenner, who they caught years ago and was supposed to have been in jail. And his daughter was a police officer. Yeah, they can get me for some of this. It was all on the news that he went to jail. I lived on Normal. I ain't gonna tell where. And my neighbor upstairs used to go with Tyrone Kenner. I don't know if he was married or not. But when they were saying he was on jail and we was looking at him on the news, he was upstairs. I said this, and I'm telling you. So, and that's him at the bottom left, my left. That's Tyrone Kenner. Right next to him is Street. There's some others. The one at the top, Beavers. That's another one, very top left, Beavers. Now, I don't know about how they deal with the others. I'm telling you who I know and what I know. Yes, I'm still in the beans. Why? Why would I do that? Because I'm trying to tell you Negroes that you keep trusting all your aldermen and they work for somebody else and not you. You keep trusting these people and you keep trusting the politics of this world to save us. And it's not. Even those who came with a good heart but came into the system wind up in it so long they became a part of the system. Then they start changing their language and their words to be what they call politically correct. Yes, it's correct, but politically correct. Many ticks involved in it, many tricks involved in what they're doing in order to maintain a certain state of existence. For white people, you get a nice check of crumbs to live a certain standard for the effort that you put in to keeping our people in the condition that they already in. 90% of the time, if they send any grant to revitalize a community, it's only because it's time to push you out. You heard me. They promised our people, brothers and sisters, before all these senior citizen homes went up. I'm talking Auburn Gresham right now. They promised the senior citizens that when they start doing this rebuilding, and when they start taking your homes from you, they promised you they wasn't gonna put you out of your neighborhood. You was raised here, you came here, you've been here all your life. We will never displace you out of your neighborhood. And you've been here over 30, 40, 50 years. They promised them that. And they kept their promise. Because right after that, they were losing their homes. But big senior citizen buildings were being built by the Catholic Church, by other churches of God in Christ and other religions. They were only allowed to do a daycare center and a senior citizen building. No grocery stores, no nothing. And look what popped up all throughout the Black community. Because they will use those terms and be politically correct. I'm only telling you what I know. And then people wonder why I don't go to meetings that much no more. I went to those meetings. I heard all those lies. We exposed those lies. They told us we were being difficult and we had all kind of names put on us. Yes, we are that group in the 90s who got a bad name for ourselves for standing up for our people. Yes, there's Negroes who slandered my name, slandered the names of some of the members and did whatever they could. I even believe some of the people that used to be in our movement, some of them, not all of them, might have been paid. And most ways they pay you, brothers and sisters, is with a good job. Promoting you out of influence. But you didn't know they were paying you directly. One of our ministers here, a long time ago, Ezekiel, he was talking so much and doing so much and upsetting them so bad that he needed some income, because most of our grassroots brothers and sisters don't work for the same enemy that they're talking about, that we're exposing. So some kind of way, at one of those meetings, they were offering certain jobs. And he went and took the job because something was going on in his life and his family. And most of our people wasn't giving us enough money to keep doing what we were doing for our people, because we didn't accept government grants and we did not accept any kind of commercial grants or sponsorship. See, brothers and sisters, we personally didn't do that. But we didn't mind if a person got a grant and wanted to hire our services. I mean, your money was green on that end, but we wasn't dealing with the paperwork. But if you needed a DJ, you got one. If you needed security, you got security. If you needed a place to operate one of your certain, what they call them, I forgot what they call these different places. Whatever it was called, we let you work out of our space. And our rent was paid for the summer. Yes, and we'll do it again. But we're not going to go directly and ask y'all to do nothing for us. But if our people need our services, why shouldn't we get paid for it? So that's what we do. We're not dumb. We're going to expose the enemy wherever we find him, and what he's doing to us and his spooks. We're going to expose them too. So am I saying all aldermen bad, all police are bad, all this and that? I'm saying, if you're a friend of this world and all that they have to offer, and you're standing up and defending even the stuff that's against God himself and going to church on Sunday, then we're talking about you. Yes, we are talking about you, because you fit the description of an individual who don't want to recognize that somebody's trying to kill us. And you letting them put the same sword in your hand to take us out. Your own people. And they'll tell you, we'll save you and your family. Oh, okay, that's all I'm concerned with is me and my family. All right, y'all. I'm gonna read some more of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I told you the first thing we're gonna do, you're gonna be hearing from us. We're gonna talk about this plague and the antidote, why you should and should not deal with it, how you can escape it. And it's gonna be on Zoom, and it's not gonna be advertised on social media. It's gonna be word of mouth. And we're gonna ask that whoever took this earthly antidote, man-made antidote, not to be on it with us. Because whatever we're gonna tell you, preferably, you can help those who did. And if you can't, I have to give you the future of what's going on. Starting in 2025 on up. We have to know. God's people have to know. We must know. And you need to get involved. And you need to take life serious. And if you just having birthday parties for your grandkids or your children or their children's children or your friends and their neighbors, and not understanding that they're growing up to take your place in the world that you are allowing them to stay in, is going to offer them the same hell that you're experiencing, psychological hell and stress, because you didn't get up and make a way for our people. We all we got, y'all. I don't care where you go, you still gonna be black. I don't care what kind of bleach you put on your skin, you still gonna be black. You just gonna be black. Accept it. Accept it. That sometimes I be mad at our people. And I don't care if I even wish not to be black, I'm gonna be black. I don't care. It's gonna happen. So since I'm here and I accept it and I see our condition and I'm telling us ways and solutions to come out of it, we're gonna have different people presenting on the 27th. Solutions, presenting solutions, call to action. Yeah, is the call gonna be answered? People may come. Are they gonna do the work? Are we gonna make the sacrifice? Are we gonna get closer to humbling ourselves and becoming one with that higher power that's in place that will connect us to other entities on Earth, in Earth, and from other planets? I'm talking heavy, because that's our power. And some of them planes, the ones you can't really catch and see that go like this and that way and then disappear, they're not moving at the speed of light. They do have some vehicles that move at the speed of light, but those vehicles are moving at the speed of thought. And thought is 24 billion miles per second, which means they go so fast they can go into another dimension. They go so fast they can, well, if y'all got any questions, y'all can ask them. I'm not gonna read. Well, I am. I'm gonna read how you can extend your life. If you want to, but if you don't want to, it can be extended still, and you'll be ill. You'll be sick all the time. God constantly shows me things and I do what he asks me to do. And this is the longest, brothers and sisters. And some of you all can witness that in the last 4 years, maybe 5, I'll say ever since we lost our 3 temples, and they have a lot to do with your illnesses. This year is the longest I've been without a cold or a flu or a pneumonia or some sort of those things that dealt with my immune system. I'm thankful for that. Inside of this plague, God allowed me to put a combination together that gave me all the vitamins, all the minerals I need, and something else that destroys fungus, viruses, and bacteria. And just using those 2, I have not been ill this year. Just using those 2. Now I got my other herbs and things for different parts of the body. You got all these organs and different things. We have to detox, we have to cleanse, and all of that. And right now I'm in no pain. Took a physical, no high blood pressure, no diabetes, none of those things. Why? Because I believe and know that there's a cure for everything. But you got to take the time out and become a scientist in the laboratory of your life. All I can do is get you started. I study all the time, and I can never study enough. You can listen to me, but my job is to get you to studying also for yourself and your family and your neighbors or whoever, your friends. It ain't just me. It ain't. I'm doing what I do. I'm doing what I came to do. I've done some things that if I even told you, you wouldn't be ready for it. Since I've been here on this plane, with the plan that was given to me. And the plan was of an extraterrestrial nature, but it had to happen on this planet. Let me read, if y'all ain't got no questions. I know where I left off Sunday. This is to extend your life if you are willing to accept discipline. You're not going to remove leaders or discipline until God makes something totally different that you have to go through to attain the knowledge and information that you desire. You have to go through a trial. You have to go through a test. You have to go through a ritual. Life is a ritual. You're not going to just mosey on through this. The body is made up of water. I'm reading from How to Eat to Live. Now, I do not just only read How to Eat to Live. You saw other books because you have to understand and study it. I studied the diet of the Hebrews, the diet of Muslims under the Nation of Islam, the diet of Orthodox Islam. I've studied the diet of Seventh-day Adventists, the diets of Jehovah's Witnesses, the diets of Buddhists. I've studied different diets to see what is right for the lost 13 tribe born in North America. So I'm studying it, and I tell you the stuff that I only read to you what I believe is true. And if there's a part that I think needs to be extended or fixed a little bit, I will say it, like I do with the Moors or anybody else. I don't argue with you about nothing. I deal with nature. There's no other thing or anything on this planet that drink milk till it die. Nothing. There's a time when they're weaned from it. There's a time when the breast milk dries up, showing you it wasn't meant for consumption forever. That's just nature. I follow nature. I follow what's natural, a natural law. The body is made up of water, chemicals, stones, metals, vegetation, and air. This body, showing you everything came from us. Everything expressed itself out of us. Plants, animals, everything, y'all. Using our DNA, using certain things in our bodies. And if our thoughts could materialize it, if our thoughts could materialize it, we use that. Whatever we conceived and thought in our head, manifest. All that is in the earth is in some form in our body. And you have no birth record of this earth. It's older than 66 trillion. So that's why people can add more dates and more times to it. It's older than 66 trillion. He says, although there is a record, you probably do not have it. He said, it is a very old earth. It is not, as you have been made to believe, only 6,000 years old. He says it is more than 6 trillion years old. And it will be here for a long time yet. I'm there to believe it's more than 66 trillion years old. And if 1,000 million makes a billion, I guess 1,000 billions make a trillion. This is my guess. Now, I don't know how many billions, now I don't know how many trillions this earth is. What comes out of it, such as life, cannot live as long as the earth itself. But it can be made to live a very long time if carefully nursed according to its nature. Just that statement alone shows you why I said what I said about it. As you see, and scientists teach you, the long life of the California redwood tree. There is mention in the Bible of God saying that his people's life will be as the tree. There's an oak in Arabia under which they claim Abraham met God. It's still alive today, it says. Now, this book was written in the 60s. It might be alive now. God never intended that righteous lives should be cut short of 100 years on this earth. You hear that? This is Elijah saying, I have experience in living and eating according to the way that he taught me a while. And I found it one of the happiest and most peaceful ways of which I ever dreamed. See, even when you discipline yourself and eat right, a certain calmness or a certain peace comes over you when you humble yourself, and a certain calmness of your spirit that no one can move it. No one can take it. And you be at peace with yourself and things around you. You even can bring peace to a situation just in your presence. I'm telling you. He said, I began with eating one meal a day and forced my family to do the same for several years. And you should. If you're the father of that household, you make the rules for that house. And I don't care if they get older, 2021, if you still in that house, you force those rules because that's your domain. And the wife should work with you in making sure it happens. They may not know it's for their good, and they usually don't find out until years later. So you have to force that. You have to take control of their destiny. They can leave when they get ready. But whenever they come back, even if they're 40 and you 80, the rules still stand. And they're supposed to respect you in your domain. Marvin Gaye got killed by his father. He had rules in that house. If he didn't like him, he could have stayed gone. If he didn't like how his father was treating his mother, he could have moved her out and moved her somewhere else, but not trying to take over the domain. That's his domain. That's his house. Those his rules. Move your mom out and move her so far away she can't come back. Just saying. He said, I began eating one meal a day, forced my family to do the same for several years, until I was picked up and sent to prison for teaching Islam in 1942. Now, he went to jail for like 4 years, I believe. Okay. And he was, well, I'll just read it. He said, the government said they sent him to jail for failing to register for the draft. That really was not the reason, for I did not come under that draft law at that time. He said some of my followers who were 60 and 65 years old were sent to prison at the same time. Persons of such an age were not desired by the War Department. At that time, when you were 40, you didn't have to go if you were 40 years old. It was 18 to 39. While in prison, the Christians made it hard for us to live as we had been. They deliberately put swine, or the essence of swine, in everything. And the assistant warden made mockery of it when I told him my followers lived on nothing but bread and to avoid swine. He said that even the bread had swine in it. We used to make a meal of dried, baked, white potatoes. We had it hard. And all my followers now in prison still have it hard. Yeah. That's some kind of way that they punish you. And they'll just put you in jail. They'll know you're a vegetarian. They'll put you in jail. And then you have to either eat or die, or figure out how to eat vegetables and sell your meat, or come out with diabetes because you ate all the starchy stuff. But because I know things are changing even in the God people and the God bodies and the new generations that are coming up, they're scientists, born scientists, just like you have born leaders. Our people among us are born scientists. And they may not use the language of today's scientists, but they can put together some stuff and come out with some stuff. And you'd be surprised at the stuff that some of these scientists in the penitentiary, black people, black scientists, how they make certain things. My son had went to jail, and I don't know if he made it, but one of his inmates made a hairbrush out of the brushes of 4 or 5 different toothbrushes and melted something together and gelled it all together. And he came, and when we visited him, he was sitting there brushing his hair, making waves with toothbrushes put together. And according to Warden English, he told me, you'd be surprised at the stuff that they make in jail and how they do things and how they even cook some of their food. Oh yeah, we can have geniuses. So we know how to get by. Oh man, I'm gonna do this one page and I'll do some more later. He says, so since returning from prison, it's been hard for me to adjust my eating habits. He was there for 4 or 5 years. For many days in prison, we had to eat 2 or 3 times a day in order to make up for one meal. Through trying to avoid eating the divinely prohibited flesh of the swine. This caused me and the others illness. After we had cleansed our stomachs of bad food and had begun to eat at the proper time. So they had begun to eat between 5 and 7, whereas they fed you 3 meals a day. And if you decide to just eat the vegetables, you had to eat enough vegetables at one meal, but you couldn't. So you would have to eat vegetables 3 times a day. That's away from the clock that was set from your human anatomy yourself. See, when we were eating the right food in the right way, we had no doctor bills. We had no medical bills. See, that's how you get away from county care and all of that. However, as soon as we changed and began to eat between meals, we began to call on the doctor and his drugs. And it brought about one complaint after another. I would never have suffered today from bronchial asthma if I had not disobeyed the laws of the right foods to eat. Now I'm on the way back to try and adjust my life according to the way God taught me. You hear that? I experienced eating once a day for several years, and I experienced eating once every 2 days for a long time. Then I experienced eating one meal every 3 days, which is twice a week. I never had any symptoms of disease or sickness when I was eating once every 48 hours and once every 3 days. With this method, you feel as though you never were sick in all your life, even if you are 100 years old. Nothing shortens our lives but our foolish selves. I'll read some more something. Now you'll say, you know people who live to be 100, this and that. Yeah, that's real. I see people come on saying all they needed was a cigar and a hit of some kind of whiskey, and they was 100-something years old. Bodies failing, they ain't walking like they 100. When you 100 years old and you doing the right thing, look, Webb Evans stopped eating pork at 95. We would go to eat breakfast and he would ask for sausage, turkey bacon. He wouldn't eat pork no more. He let it go. Just from listening to us. He said, you're never too old to learn to do the right thing. You're never too old to learn. He said, when you stop learning, you get old. I got friends don't want to know nothing about the internet, don't want to know nothing about your phone, don't want to know nothing about linking up, not link card, linking up, with Zoom and none of that. Don't want to learn nothing. Wasting away with time. I'm gonna let y'all go, but be on the lookout for when I set that date for all of us to come together to try and figure out how we gonna deal with this world when they start all this other level of fighting each other. See, because when they start fighting, they done already let certain store owners and clubs make up in their mind how they're gonna make you be carded to show a card that you took this antidote. And if you don't have it, you can't come in that club or that restaurant, which is gonna cause some fighting to take place because it's not a law. It's just a rule you placed on your establishment. Now, when they take it to the supermarkets and grocery stores, what is they gonna make brothers and sisters do? Call Uber Eats and all them again, and Lyft or whatever. Or we gonna come together, unity, and start fighting and resist and saying no. And keep your track record of how many times you become ill, because I'm doing it. And every day, I'm gonna run and get it. This is for my immune system. This ain't got nothing to do with all that other crap y'all want to talk about. So I'm not making no medical plans. I'm going to show you what's been keeping me from being sick since January up until now. Hold on. How much time I get? 8:42? Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you. I take something, a multivitamin, a high potency vitamin, and it's called Mega Gel, MEGACHEL, for the circulatory system. Also assist in dealing with arteries and clogged arteries and things like that. But I do 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. It tells you instructions on how to get started. The other one is a colloidal silver. But this particular one is called Silver Shield. I don't take it every day. But when I feel something in my throat or my body feels like it's about to get sick or need to fight, then I'll get a teaspoon of that and put it under my tongue, then swish it around and swallow it. Maybe 2 or 3 times that day until it's gone. Not this gone, but until that feeling is gone. And when that feeling is gone, I continue to just take my multivitamin. All right? That's the Mega Gel. I'm going to read it, what it says in the book, what it does. All right? It says the benefits. This is Mega Gel. Provides a powerhouse of nutritional support for your circulatory system. Provides 100% or more of the daily value for 10 essential vitamins and minerals. Promotes healthy circulation through maintaining your arteries, your veins, and capillaries. It balances your glandular system. How it works. This formula combines vitamins, minerals, herbs, nutrients, amino acids, and glandular substances into a powerful circulatory system supplement. Then it gives you the ingredients. There's a lot of B vitamins in there too. The B vitamins, for those who are stressing out, the B vitamins helps you with stress, because we lose our B vitamins almost every day because it comes out through the fluids in our body. I'm not going to read all of this now, but it tells you how to take it. Okay, that's all I want to say. Now, the other one, Silver Shield. I'm going to tell you, here it is. Supports the immune system, offers broad spectrum immune support. It's non-toxic, poses no risk of heavy metal contamination, provides 20 ppm of pure silver. The human body is constantly bombarded. At these times, your body's immune system naturally puts up shields for protection. Exclusively from nature's sunshine, Silver Shield, with bioavailable aqua sol technology, offers safe and effective broad spectrum immune support that supports your natural shield. Silver Shield with aqua sol technology features pure silver particles suspended in pure water for powerful immune system support. It is manufactured using a patented patented process with strict quality control to verify potency and purity. The result is fine nano silver particles with 99% bioavailability. Silver particles are processed by the kidneys and may not affect populations of beneficial bacteria in the colon. All right. It also has some, well, no, I don't got nothing else in it. That's it. All right. I don't care what else I take. I wake up in the morning taking my mega chip. Even if I don't take the silver shield, I take my mega chip. 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. Keep my immune system up and working because all our food is poison. When I feel something coming on, if I wake up in the morning with the sniffles, I spray something in my nose. If I feel some itchiness or scratchiness in my throat, or sometimes you can feel something wrong, you can almost tell when you're about to catch a cold or something. So I'll go and put this in and pour it in here or get a teaspoon and drink it. I can spray it even on my skin, brothers and sisters, when you get high. Like certain allergies make you little welts and stuff come up. Spray your skin. Spray it with a spray, put it in a spray bottle, spray your skin. Yes, this is what I take. I'm speaking from and for me. Not making no medical claim with their product, right? But I'm saying what I do. And since January, up until now, which is unique for me, because when the seasons change, my eyes get watery, the allergies, all that crap. I take others now. I take certain herbs just for lungs. I still do colon cleansers. I still detox my liver and kidneys. I still take certain herbs for eyes, certain herbs for the pancreas, all of that. But I don't take them as much as I used to. I used to take over 100 capsules a day. At one time, twice a day. I was so sick last year for 6 months that God will tell you, I took every herb that I could find and every over-the-counter drug that I could take. I mixed because whatever was happening to me was so powerful, it took something extra powerful to get that off of me. I will never ever want to feel like that again. And I will continue to monitor me taking these two things. And I'll keep letting you know what happens. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Peace. Hotep, shalom, assalamu alaikum, barakani, alafia, and ashe. If